Greetings. Welcome to Widow's Peak with your hosts, Dana and Stephanie.
Stephanie, I got you.
I got you.
We got each other.
Yes, we do.
Hi, I'm Dana Holmes.
And I'm Stephanie Neal.
And together we are Widow's Peak. Stephanie, today's topic is one of my favorite topics.
Okay.
Because it deals with self-care.
Yes.
And self-care, to me, meaning it's unselfishly taking care of myself.
Yes, I agree.
And I sometimes I ignore that, and women a lot of times ignore that.
Especially.
And caregivers as well.
Yes.
Caregivers, women, wives, we tend to overlook ourselves to take care of those others that are in our lives.
Right.
And it's especially prone for people who have a sick loved one.
Yes.
Like the caregiver. And so as widows,
yes,
you and I both, we really, really took care of our spouses.
Right.
And we may have put ourselves last, even after our children.
I agree. Not may have, we did.
We did.
Yeah.
And what happens with that, you kind of neglect, and we'll touch on all of them, but your health, your mental stability.
Yes. Your timing, taking care of yourself, basically.
Exactly. And so I think it's important that we let everyone know out here, that may be in the same situation. It's not selfish that you do that.
Right.
It's unselfish, and it's something that we all need in order for us to be better.
Yes, there you go.
Let's just start there.
Right.
In order for us to be better and be good for anyone else, we have to take care of ourselves.
I agree. Yes, we do.
And so what I made sure I did, and I probably didn't do it enough, was I made sure I kept all of my annual exams.
Okay.
I may not have done those additional ones, those milestone ones that were new, but I definitely kept up with those.
But how did you do that when you was dealing with your spouse?
It was a regular. It just it's something that I've always done.
Okay.
It was something that was important for him as well for me to do.
Okay.
Because we shared, which is strange, right? We shared results. We let each other know, like,
That's not strange.
It's not strange.
No.
Okay, yeah, because that's an accountability partner,
right? Okay.
That's an accountability partner that you have within your spouse,
right?
Which is good,
right?
And not everybody has that.
Right.
I've realized, but it was very easy for Z and I to talk. To one another about those things. How about you?
Yeah, we did, but I had a hard part because he, once he got ill, he was hard for him to want to tell me the results. You know, and his thing was because he always wanted to make sure that I was good.
I'm gonna fix your crown. I always tell you, I don't tell people. I just fix their crown.
Okay.
Because I can't hear you.
Okay, is that better?
You got a lovely voice.
Whatever. Thank you. Whatever.
Go on, girl, with that sultry voice. No, go ahead.
So he didn't want to stress me out. So, but yeah, I think that's very good that we communicate. Communicate. And when you talk about self-care, I think that when we were going through the process of our husband illness, was hard for me to do self-care because I was so focused and wanted to make sure he was good. And his thing was he wanted to make sure I was good. So it's going back and forth. So I do agree with what you're saying about communicating back and forth the results and communicating back and forth that each other take care of themselves.
That's good. That's good. And you know what? And I also had my doctors. I've been seeing them for so long that if I don't show up, I get a call.
Yeah, a call or a card. That's
good to have. As you're looking into looking for a healthcare provider and stuff like that. That you have someone that kind of also holds you accountable. They look forward to you. You build that relationship over time with your healthcare provider, and so when they don't see you, they check you.
Yeah, I agree.
They checking in on you.
Yes, very much so.
So so your health and just taking care of myself was really important for me because I was still working and the kids were still busy and, my spouse was still busy and very active.
Okay.
Very active, fitness, doing Spartan race and 5Ks and all of that stuff. So I had to
go ahead, girl.
I had to keep it going as well. And so just, keeping my health up so that I wouldn't fall.
Right, so you can take care of it.
Yeah, because I needed to take care of we were taking care of things together. But it's just important for me to keep up, my health, my weight. And, as we age.
Right, that's why I'm looking at you like, we're not even going to talk about that because we know that fluctuates all the time.
Girl. And then I had my husband loved to cook.
Okay.
So I was always eating and trying to balance that as well. So just those things. And then also taking those days for myself.
Yes. I didn't have days. I had moments or time. Because I guess I'm referring back to when my spouse was here and me having to try to take care of him and help him because my spouse was very strong with wanting to do for himself. He didn't want me to help. He didn't want to feel like he was a burden.
Right.
So he wanted to do everything. But even in that, I still wanted to make sure everything was good. And so me having to make sure everything was good, it was hard for me to take time for myself. So when you say self-care, that's why I said time is very important for me to be able to step back, take a breath, and take time for myself, however that may be. That may be going in the closet and going in the bathroom, getting away, going with someone, just a little time.
What's good for you.
Yes.
What you can do, what you can squeeze in.
Yes.
Squeeze it in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So like you said, a prayer closet or just a mental break, a bubble bath.
Yes.
At the end of the day.
Yes.
A sweet treat.
Hello.
Girl.
A big red.
You said what?
A big red.
A big red soda, something like that, glass of wine. Just something that is just for you.
Right.
Sometimes I would sneak in to my room and get under the covers and sneak some chocolate so no one would know that I had some chocolate, didn't have to share it. But yeah, when I say days, I don't mean like I was off for weeks, but within throughout the years, just always, because that was normal for me, normal for us to do is whether it's a spa or a massage or pedicure even.
Yes.
Pedicure, squeezing that in when you can is always good.
So how does it look for you now?
So for now, I it's normal. Okay. No, but I do squeeze those times in for myself. I continue to do that. I continue with the upkeep, keeping myself healthy. I just, I'll say invested in a Peloton.
Okay.
A Christmas gift for myself.
Okay.
And so I did that so that I don't have the excuse not to work out.
Okay.
I'm fortunate enough to have a gym within my community, and I try to get to it at least 3 times a week.
Right.
And if I can't get to it, I need some cardio, some ability, to get that cardio in. Nutrition, I'm looking at, my
eating
diet.
Healthier. Yeah.
And eating healthier and making that a habit.
Yes. A lifestyle.
A lifestyle, yes. Exactly.
Yes.
And also I do, I take those mental breaks. I take those breaks to be able to go off to a wellness resort. I had that opportunity to do that and go to a wellness resort this past summer, which was the first time I've always wanted to do it. And I told my spouse I wanted to do that.
Okay.
And he looked into it, but something came up and I wasn't able to do it. So anyway, I went off to Arizona and I was able to do a wellness.
Oh, I heard about that one. They say it's really, really nice.
It was amazing.
Okay.
It was amazing. It was not only was it meditation, but it was yoga flow and nutrition. And that was the first time, girl, that was the first vacation I had ever taken by myself.
Oh, wow.
Now, I know. Now, I know that's new for people. Like, some people are like, oh, I do that all the time. but it wasn't, I didn't have a sickly,
Right.
spouse all my, my entire relationship, but I had responsibilities, period. And we enjoyed vacations and time away together. So I never really saw that was a need for me. Yeah, I took the vacations with family. I mean, girlfriends or my sisters, and I've gone away for work, by myself, but that was work.
Right.
But literally being by myself.
Right.
It was kind of scary and
intimidating because I know when we were talking, like you're talking about being by yourself, that was an adjustment for me. Mm-hmm. Because me and my daughter actually have never been on a vacation except for me and her, all of us together, all three of the whole family with my spouse. Mm-hmm. And when we had to make that adjustment, just me and her going, it was scary. Getting in a taxi cab.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine.
New York, we're about to tell you how I was scared about getting in a taxi cab, so I understand. So when you're talking about going on to meditation, I think that was really good. I would have liked to do that too.
That reminds me of a funny story of why I probably should not have traveled by myself. So Z and I went to Paris in 2018.
Right.
We had an opportunity to go to Paris together. And while we were there, he got the bags and he put me over in the taxi line because the taxi triggered. So he put me over in the taxi line. So I'm standing in the taxi. He said, I'll be right back. I'm going to go to the restroom. I'm standing there. So this man comes up. He's like, okay, these are your bags. Okay. My car is right over here. He started ushering me over to his car. And then Z comes. He goes, whoa. Where you going? I said, the taxi man is right here. He's going to say, he said, girl, that's not a taxi man. He said, no. That's like what we call like a hack or something like that back in the States.
Wow.
He said, you about to be on the episode of Take It. He said, you can't come nowhere by yourself. So those type of like memories was in my head as I was like going there, to go there by myself. I try to, be conscious of those type of things, not to stray off the path, not to let people know where I was. I was familiar with my surroundings, but it was wonderful. It was wonderful. Okay. And the meditation there, it was amazing. So it allowed me to reflect on the things that, I wanted to do, the things that I had been through, the time to even grieve.
Yes.
Yes. Because it had been, at that point, it had been about a year since I lost my spouse. And I realized I had never been fully alone for several days to be able to let it down and let it go.
Let it go. Yeah.
Because as a mother, for myself, you take on that responsibility of strong.
Right.
You take on that responsibility of, if you break down, then the kids might think like, okay, are we okay?
Right.
And get scared. So I did that alone a lot of times, but for the first time being away, I was really able to let loose.
That's why I think meditation is important. I think it's important because of the fact that you have, like you say, you can reflect, and then you have time to just kind of, I say, breathe.
Yeah.
Because that's just the thing I always say, God, just let me breathe.
That's wow.
Just let me breathe.
That's a wow moment.
Meditation, you're able to breathe.
Yeah.
Take in a deep one and exhale. Wow. So I think meditation is very important, regardless where you're located. You can be in your room. Right. You can be in your car.
Yep.
And meditate.
I just reflected right there. I just exhaled.
Yeah.
Inhaled, and I just breathed right through that conversation right there.
It's a beautiful thing. It does release.
It releases a lot, and it's quietness, you know?
Yes.
And people may not realize the power of that.
Right.
As Christians, we may have been, we may have thought that that's not something that Christians do.
Right.
But when you really dig into it, you realize that, this is just a moment
to yourself.
For myself and with myself. And I'm able to inhale
and exhale.
Exhale and breathe. And it does. It's actually